Welcome to the Mindset Mile podcast, the show that'll leave you empowered to take action towards becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self. I'm your host, Aisha Zaza, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go. Good morning, fam, and happy Monday. You may be listening to this on not a Monday, and it may not be morning, and that's okay. There's no wrong time to listen, but that's what time it is for me, and new episodes drop every Monday. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. You won't even need to think about it. You'll just get a little silent nudge on your phone that lets you know a new episode is waiting for you. Brilliant. And guys, if you love the Mindset Mile, please do me a huge favor and take 1 second to rate and review the show. That helps the show out big time on whichever platform you're listening to it on. It gives it a little boost in the podcast algorithm, so more people can find the show and hopefully, take a lot away from these messages. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay, on with the goods. You're here because you see the value in investing time and energy in personal development. And that makes you my kind of people. You should know that even taking the 10 minutes a week you take to listen to this podcast and whichever other podcasts you listen to that help you level up as a person is a reason to be really proud of yourself for just knowing that all of the things that we consume, that you make a choice to help yourself by listening to this type of information. I know it may feel small, but it's actually huge. There's always room to grow, and there's always ways that we can improve. It's a lifelong process. So wherever you are in the process of becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self is exactly where you should be. You're not behind. So today I want to offer you some tips when it comes to breaking bad habits. Patience can be hard to have when you want to make a long-term change because, as you know, nothing happens overnight and it's hard to change our patterns and the way that we think. It takes a lot of undoing of our current programs and breaking that autopilot mode. And there's different information out there about how long it takes for a habit to actually become second nature. But what I want you to mentally prepare for is that it can take anywhere between 3 to 10 weeks to form a new habit. Some habits, of course, may be easier to change than others, but just know that going into whichever change you're looking to make. So first, why do you want to change? This may seem like an obvious question, but I think we are told a lot of things that are bad for us, and we're shown lots of techniques people use to change their own habits and way of thinking, but we may not actually know the why behind why some of those changes are good for us to make for ourselves personally. For instance, you probably know some of the following. Smoking is bad for you. Getting 8 hours of sleep is recommended. You should be drinking your body weight in ounces of water per day. You should avoid or minimize highly processed foods. Screen time before bed is bad for you, yada, yada. You probably know all those things, right? But just off that incredibly short and quick list, which ones do you still do? Or better yet, which ones do you still not do? We know better, but until you find a reason for yourself to change, you're not going to make an effort. So first you need to identify why you want to change. Write a list. Maybe your bad habit is that you go to bed late. What are some reasons why you want to start going to bed earlier? Your list could look something like this. Wake up earlier to fit in meditation or a morning routine that isn't rushed. Have 1 more hour a day of productive work, whether around the house or for your own personal work. To feel rested, to be in a better mood throughout the day, so you don't have brain fog, or to exercise. Those are all very good and important reasons to kick the habit of going to bed late. Well, in the moment of whatever keeps you up late, whether that's watching TV, scrolling social media, working late, You're going to need to be reminded of those reasons, even though you know what they are in the back of your head. You need to see a physical reminder of them. So write your list of reasons why you'll feel better going to bed earlier, and then put them where your triggers are that keep you up late, like by the remote control or on your nightstand by your phone charger, or place them in a place you'll see frequently, like your bathroom mirror. When we are reminded with our reasons why we are doing something, we become much more attached to actually doing it. This episode is sponsored by Get the Tea, and I have to tell you about an amazing new product they have called Life Change Tea. Why is it life-changing, you may ask? It's because they have formulated a tea containing 12 herbs that combined are so effective for cleaning out your gut. I drink it every day and it helps keep me feeling good. It has been around for over 14 years and has helped change thousands of lives. Plus, I love that it's made right here in the US. It's organic and non-GMO. It works as a daily gentle cleanse for your body. You just brew, steep, refrigerate, and drink. And who doesn't love a nice tall glass of iced tea during the summer? It's so refreshing, and it's an effective way to gently cleanse your digestive system. Go to getthetea.com/Zaza, that's Z-A-Z-A, and save $8 off your first month of tea. That's getthetea.com/Zaza. Second, replace each bad habit you want to quit with a new one. So many attempts and failures at quitting bad habits come from simply trying to just quit the habit altogether. We often leave it to discipline to quit something, but discipline is something that is built over time. It's not something you either just have or you don't. So trying to go cold turkey doesn't always work, and it's proven that the best way to quit a bad habit is to replace it with a different and better one. So maybe you're trying to quit snacking on sugary candy in the afternoons or after dinner. Replace that with some nuts or fresh or dried fruit. As you repeat the new behavior, the impulse to follow the new routine develops. Eventually, you'll start to see the rewards of the new habit, like not crashing in the afternoons after a sugar high, or maybe you drop a few extra pounds you've wanted to drop. And results are always a catalyst for motivation. You'll be so stoked on this new behavior, more than you'll feel the urge to go back to the bad habit. And lastly, prepare for slip-ups. This goes back to relinquishing the all or nothing mentality that stops you from doing so many of the things you want to do or could become great at. The need to quit a bad habit perfectly and with zero mistakes has got to go. I don't know a single person who hasn't been let down by regressing in their own progress when trying to make a change or a new habit. You know what I'm saying. You go 4 days without eating sugar, and then someone brings something sweet into the office and you think a half a cookie or donut never hurt anybody. But then you live in this guilt and shame that just wreck your whole mindset about the progress you've made. And you think that since you blew it with one thing, you might as well indulge with another. And then there's the slippery slope. I'm not saying to go into changing a bad habit with a bunch of hall passes for yourself to use them whenever you want to use them. Obviously, you're practicing new forms of discipline that will become stronger as time goes on, but stop making one slip up the end of the world. And surely don't let it be permission for you to abort your mission altogether. If and when you slip with whatever the bad habit is, give yourself credit for how far you've come since that habit was way more frequent, and then move on. Dwelling in guilt is not going to change anything. And grace is going to be your friend while you make these new transitions. So those are 3 things I hope help you develop and stick with some better and healthy habits you want to make in your life. Please send this episode to someone who you think could get a lot out of it. And if you share it on Instagram, be sure to tag me at Aisha Zaza so I can see you. I can't wait to see you next week. And until then, make it a great day. This show is produced by Upstarter Pods, a podcast production and management team that can launch your podcast, edit everything for you, manage your show, and coach you through the entire process. I consider them my arms and legs of the podcast so I can use my biggest strength, my voice. If you want to launch a podcast or need help managing your own, go to upstarterpods.com or head to upstarterpods on Instagram to set up a free call with Chase to see if it's the right thing for you.